global warming, climate change, or the wrath of God? Coming up next on Deceptions of the Ages News. Hello everybody and welcome to Deceptions of the Ages News. This is going to be a little bit of a different program today because today I'm going to take you on the road in Washington State. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, before I explain what we're going to be up to for the next two videos, this is a two-part segment, let me just encourage you to hit that subscribe button and think about a sponsorship on Patreon. We also have some amazing t-shirts for sale at our Books in Hindsight podcast store, as well as at hindsight.com. So if you want to contribute to the channel to keep us going, please do and consider a sponsorship at patreon.com/hindsight. And also let me thank you to all of our subscribers. We are getting so many subscribers. We're hitting near that 10,000 subscriber mark, and pretty soon we're going to have our own brick at Google headquarters. Okay, let's continue on with our story. Now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to explain a few things to you, since this is the Deceptions of the Ages, Mormons, Freemasons, and Extraterrestrials channel, a few of the beliefs of the Mormons or Latter-day Saints. Now, one of the beliefs of the many that Latter-day Saints have is that God enforces his will upon us. One way he does it by using the weather. And we can cite examples, and the Latter-day Saint Church has cited examples from the American Revolution. The fact that Christianity was allowed to spread, and even the pilgrims themselves came to this country to practice Christianity. But according to the Latter-day Saints don't believe that the pilgrims were the first ones to come here to practice Christianity. No, in fact, people came here originally to practice Christianity, and all of that is in the Book of Mormon. All right, and if you want to, read more about that, just pick up a Book of Mormon. They're still free, I believe. All right, and actually I'll leave a link in the description below just so you can click on one, and maybe the LDS Church will send you one. All right, so let's continue on. So God, he is the God of the weather. Now, if you've been listening to anybody who is not a Latter-day Saint, what they're telling you is that there is global warming, and it is going to, number one, raise the coastline. So in this video, we are going to take a trip to the Pacific Coast in Washington State, and we are going to look for evidence of the rising ocean tides, and we're going to do it in my 91 Toyota pickup. So let's go check that out right now. Okay, so when we're looking for evidence of global warming and ocean level rising, I can't think of a better place to go than the ocean, can you? So let's just go ahead and check out a place called Ocean Shores in Washington State. We are going to head on out to the beach, so the first thing we need to do before we head out there is we need to go ahead and lock those hubs into four-wheel drive. And the reason we're locking into four-wheel drive is because it is a little bit sandy out there, and sometimes you're going to need all the traction that you can get. So we're locked in, and now we are off to the beach. And look at the ocean level. I want you to take notice right now is about exactly the same as it was when I was a young lad. Now we're going to go checking out the beach, which, as I mentioned, is at the same level as it was back in the 80s. and we are going to go around and ask the local inhabitants if they've seen any evidence of rising ocean levels. Hey, you seen any rising ocean levels around here? And so far we haven't gotten any positive responses. Pretty much everybody out on the beach is just concerned with having a good time and enjoying the beach. Now, if the ocean rising people were correct, that sign right now would spend most of its time underwater. But the fact of the matter is that it only sees any water during extremely high tides. So the question has to be, why is the ocean inundating places like the Maldives, but it is not inundating this area here? I mean, isn't the water level uniform all around the world? Well, that's a question somebody should answer, but I don't have an answer for it. All I can do is continue on and look for more evidence of global warming. So, hey, how's the sea level here? Any changes? No comment. Well, I guess he's not too concerned. So with no evidence of rising sea levels, let's just go ahead and mosey on down to the beach and see if we can't get some firsthand evidence of rising sea levels. So here we are down at the beach. It looks like the surf is up on a beautiful ocean shores afternoon. And the sun is setting there over the Pacific, and it looks like somebody is getting ready to go ahead and sample the rising ocean level. And here he goes. And it looks like the ocean level seems to be almost running away from him. He's got to chase it down. And I just want to point out that I am probably a quarter mile, even more so, from the high tide line. And so if the global warming, ocean rising people are correct, I would actually be in about 3, 4, maybe 10 feet of water right now, but I am completely dry except for my feet. So here is that rising ocean that they're always talking about on a pretty chilly March 4th afternoon. But looking all around, looking at the beach, you can basically see that it is the same as it has been during my lifetime. So I'm not saying that there is no rising sea level. I'm just saying there is not much evidence of it here. So I'm going to have to continue on down in my quest. We'll do a couple more searches. I just want to check out this spot here. I want to see if there's any rising ocean level in this particular spot. And looking and checking, and I don't really see a lot of evidence of a rising ocean level. So here's one last shot before we leave the beach of a beach that should not theoretically be here. All right, let's go check out another beach, and that is Claylock. Now, Claylock here is also the same as Ocean Shores. It has been this way for as long as I can remember. The water does come all the way into this inlet, and it washes the logs away, and it deposits new logs. So nothing there. Let's go down to Ruby Beach farther up the coast and see if we can't find any more evidence of rising sea levels. Now, this beach, as you can see, has a lot of rock formations that have been here as the land eroded away. These formations, they stayed. You can see this is obviously a sedimentary rock. The sea level should be at that level where I'm standing right there, but it is not. So, as you can see, things pretty much on the Pacific coast are status quo. The shoreline, although it does show some erosion, Basically is not too much different than it was in the 1980s when they started talking about how by this time the global rise in oceans would be up a few feet, like 5 feet, and all of the area that you saw in the video would have been submerged. In fact, the entire town that I showed you would have been submerged. So, is something different going on? Well, let's check out video number 2. So in order to do that, you are going to have to click on one of the links that you are going to see up here. And if you don't see it, it's because you're not watching on your laptop. All right, so if you want to continue watching and you haven't seen the link, just go ahead and click on the link in the description. All right, until next time, this is Deceptions of the Ages News, and we'll see you next time.